Man has long been fascinated with his physical abilities, so much so that he created many different games designed to test the physical abilities of one man versus another. These games are known as sports, and man quickly became fascinated with watching the best compete against one another, from the Roman gladiator fights to the Olympics. From simple individual tests such as track races to complicated team sports such as football. From large crowds supporting their country in the World Cup to the parents and families cheering on a Little League soccer game. Spectator sports have become as diverse and widespread as the human race has. But why are spectator sports so popular? And who are the major participants in the world of sports? Modern spectator sports are big business for the entertainment industry and the media industry. There are three major players in this market: the teams, the media, and the fans. The teams consist of the coaches, support staff, owners, players, marketers, and anyone else who is trying to turn a profit on the sporting events themselves. The media consists of the paparazzi, reporters, and news networks who are trying to turn a profit on the information surrounding sports. And the fans who consume the entertainment through attending events, buying merchandise, and watching, reading, and listening to the information available. All three groups must come together to form the ideology behind spectator sports. And every once in a while, the three come together to make a truly magical moment.
I'm going to Disney World!
The fans represent the backbone of the industry, the consumers who spend the money to make spectator sports profitable and thus successful. Whether you're talking about how the Boston Red Sox or the New York Yankees, who both sell out their respective stadiums to watch successful teams who consistently win games, or the die-hard fan base of the Cleveland Browns, who show up each and every year to games even though their team rarely has a winning season. Fans must be emotionally invested in their team to spend the money on team jerseys and other apparel, tickets to games, and TV packages to watch the games they cannot attend, which all cost a substantial investment for a purely entertainment service. This emotional investment pays off at sporting events when large groups of fans chant and cheer together, and events like the Braves Tomahawk Chop, the Notre Dame alma mater after a football game, the "We Are Penn State" chant, or the fans yelling and jumping in unison during an exciting game at Georgia Tech. Fan bases have developed reputations and even nicknames over time, such as the 12th Man at Texas A&M, the Children of the Corn at Wisconsin, the Reds for Manchester United fans, and the Blues for Manchester City fans, or the Cheeseheads Packers fans. None, though, is more notorious for shenanigans and dedication, though, than the Cameron Crazies. The Duke Blue Devil basketball student section of about 1,200 seats is notorious for ridiculous stunts, organized chants, yells, and screams, and for being overtly emotional during basketball games. The group of students set up tents days before games to get tickets. The line of tents is so massive it has been dubbed K-ville after the coach Mike Krzyzewski. The Cameron Crazies, named after the basketball arena Cameron Stadium, demonstrate the dedication of fans to show up and participate in the sport as fans rather than just watching the game as spectators. They have been known to heckle referees, opposing coaches, and players through chants and yells, as well as throwing objects. The Crazies have been known to throw noodles at tall and thin players, Twinkies at overweight players, as well as throwing records at a player accused of stealing a stereo prior to the game. Even though they have been criticized by their own coach and school administration, as well as the media, the Crazies continue to fight back by altering traditional chants, such as, "If you can't go to college, go to state. If you can't go to state, write for the Washington Post." This quote came after the Post wrote a criticism of the Crazies. The crazies, however, are not the only fans to be criticized by the media.
This fan has achieved TV and internet fame due to his outrageous reaction to Clemson's 2009 loss to Georgia Tech. Sports affect many fans on a very personal and emotional level, even though some would claim that fans aren't as directly involved in sports as players and coaches. In the interest of following every story that branches from sports, the media is taking advantage of this kid's suffering to make a story.
In college football, it means so much. The pain of every loss felt so deeply. It's barely Labor Day. Clemson drops to 0-1 in the ACC, and this guy, he's having a hard time getting over it. I mean,
the role of the media in sports is to draw fans in by making everything a part of the sport. Sports aren't just about athleticism and teamwork anymore. They're about more than just the game and the score. Because of the media, the observable ideology of sports and its global perspective is the result of the general ideologies and actions that belong to everyone involved, even the fans. But fans aren't the only people that are affected by the media. Athletes in today's world pay a price, and that price is their privacy. The media makes it impossible for any part of an athlete's life to stay out of the spotlight. Watch this video from the 2012 NCAA Football National Championship game, where the media spotlights A.J. McCarron's girlfriend and mom, talking about them inappropriately and acting like they are relevant to the outcome of the game.
McCarron's girlfriend, okay? And right there on the right is Dee Bonner. That's A.J.'s mom. Wow, I'm telling you, quarterbacks, you get all the good-looking women. What a beautiful woman.
Wow, A.J.'s doing...
Whoa.
Those close to A.J. McCarron are receiving likely unwanted attention just because A.J. is quarterback for Alabama and a media focus.
We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice. I know I'm supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to lead by example. I know that. And I'm not shoving it aside, like it don't mean anything. I know it's important. I do. I honestly do. But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man.
Players are tested intensely through their interactions with the media. Most of players' interactions with the media comes in post-game interviews when emotions are challenged due to their performance in the game. In result, it sometimes causes conflict or emotional responses towards the media. Allen Iverson, for example, responded with frustration towards the media after a disagreement with his coach about practice. Of course, the media is responsible for creating a story, which is why this video instantly went viral on all media sport networks to show the frustration of NBA star Allen Iverson. Tim Tebow, on the other hand, addressed the media after a devastating loss and conducted the media interview with sad emotions, which ended up with his defining moment, the speech. As the leader of the Florida Gators, starting quarterback Tim Tebow took the opportunity to address the fans during his interaction with the media. This bold speech, filled with talk of defeat, promises, and hope for the remaining of the season, will always be one of Tim Tebow's defining moments in his career at the University of Florida.
I'm sorry. Extremely sorry. We were hoping for an undefeated season. That was my goal. Something Florida's never done here. But I promise you one thing. A lot of good will come out of this. You have never seen any player in the entire country play as hard as I will play the rest of the season, and you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of the season, and you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of this season. God bless.
Players and coaches are experienced when it comes to addressing the media. Media is a form of communication to the fans in order to understand the ideology of team, coach, or players. Preparation goes into conducting a good interview with the media on the college level, and motivation is the focus in professional sports to conduct a good interview, or league fines will be considered. Most of the time, players and coaches know exactly how to address the media, but these videos are good examples of ideology of post-game interviews of the players.
Players aren't the only people on the sports teams who are tested by the media. John Tortorella, longtime hockey coach, has found himself in constant conflict with the media. This video of a post-game interview is a perfect example of the abrasiveness of their interaction.
Taylor was talking about he feels you guys still gained a little bit of momentum because of the way you played.
We know what we did. We know what we did.
What did you do?
Next question.
What did you do? And you know what you did. What did you think you did?
Brooksy, if I want to explain it to you, I would. Next question.
What do you think about Bordeaux's play tonight?
I don't coach Bordeaux. I coach this hockey team in Tampa.
How was the decision to dress Rust Ruslan, and was that pre-planned going in?
To dress him?
To dress him and not play him?
No. I got into a flow. I lost him in the first period, and that's what happens. When you don't play well, that's what happens. You get put on the outside, and I lost him in the first, and so I just didn't go back to it.
What's the mood amongst the guys in the locker room?
Good.
What was the exchange with McClain? Your exchange?
What's that?
Johnny McClain.
Johnny McClain?
Yeah.
You should ask him.
Are you answering no questions or what?
I guess that's what I'm saying, Brooksy.
Okay.
You get that through your head?
I guess so.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a waste of time.
Well, then get the fuck out of here, then.
I am.
Okay, see ya. Next question.
John, was that...
While some coaches choose to handle the press by dancing through their questions, Tortorella is extremely blunt and very defensive. He is a great example of a coach who struggles to play the games of the media, and someone whose reputation really suffers as a result.
Sports bring out raw emotions in everyone involved. We have seen elated players during a game, cheering fans at all types of events, a depressed fan after a heartbreaking loss by his team, a frustrated player with media questions, a player who cries in an interview, and a coach pushed to the point of swearing on national television after a loss. Elation, depression, frustration, and anger are some of the most raw and primal emotions humans can experience.
Well, it was a tough game, I tell you. I was proud of our guys' effort. It's a hard game to lose, a gut-wrenching game. Would have been for either side. And really not a whole lot to say about it.
No, I'm all about wins. And, I wanted to play hard. I wanted to win this game, especially for our seniors, because I can imagine how they feel right now, not being able to beat Georgia. And, that game matters a lot here. And, being here, it was special. The game was special. It was a great atmosphere, and we really wanted to win. We really wanted to win.
Is this the toughest game you've played, you think, probably?
Yeah, definitely. Because, you just lay it out on the line so much, and just lay it out on the line and came up short. Coach Johnson and I both represented similar emotions after a tough loss: sadness, heartbreak, and frustration. These emotions were tested through media questions in the post-game interview. This is why sports in general is so important to our society, to give the opportunity to experience the most powerful emotions. Similar to the joy of the birth of a child, to the sadness of the death of a loved one. Sports facilitate these emotions for players, coaches, and the fans. This is ideology of sports. In conclusion, ideology from the fans, media, and players are impacting the sports that we participate and watch every day. Even though there are different perspectives, the general ideology is the same. At the end of the day, the players are humans, and not just the superheroes who we pretend them to be during the 60-minute game of football or the 400-meter Olympic race. The fans are not just spectators whose ideologies are formed based on the players' and coaches' interactions with the media, but also participants in every event. Different emotions occur during competitions. Some are tears of joy and some are tears of defeat. But the ideology of the sport is represented through these emotions that cause the fans and media to have a big impact on not only the game, but the players and coaches on an emotional level. And the most powerful emotion sports can offer is inspiration.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Stormy seas, I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up